Hey everyone, I'm Brian Parks, and in this video I want to talk about how you handle customer escalations. Now, I'm not talking how to build a multi-tier support system so that you can have uh, first-tier support that people call into and then escalate from there. No, I'm talking as a software engineer, how do you handle issues when support issues get escalated all the way through any degree of support group, all the way to you as a software engineer. And this is actually all from firsthand experience. I've done this at a couple different jobs. I was the at least one of the people who dealt with customers that got escalated through support. Usually, for one reason or another, support wasn't able to figure out what was going on and needed additional help from someone who could actually look deeper into the code. So the first thing that I want to mention is that it's really important that customers feel like they're being heard and listened to. And as a software engineer, it's important to continue to build up those soft skills so that when you're talking to a customer, they don't feel like you're going directly into problem solving mode. You know, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried that? Listen to not only what issues they're experiencing, but what they're trying to do. Because ultimately, the customer doesn't, they don't care about the details of why something's not working or what's not working. They care about accomplishing their goals. They care about what they're trying to do and what they're using your software in order to do as it pertains to their world. Not your world, but their world. So it's really important to listen to them and make sure that they feel that both you and anyone else who's working with them on the issue is listening to them, so that they feel like they're actually getting the level of support that they need. And you'll actually run into issues where as long as a customer feels like they're getting that support and people are listening to them, even if you have no idea what's going on and how to solve their issue, as long as they feel that they're being heard on a regular basis and you're touching base with them and they know that you're not ignoring them, they will be much happier with you, even though you haven't solved their issue yet. Of course, if that goes on for too long, then they might start to get frustrated and wonder why you haven't been able to solve their issue. But that brings us kind of to the next point, which is the difference between a workaround and actually solving the issue. So in some cases, getting them a workaround might be sufficient. It might get them going. And if you get them a workaround, they might not come back to you and say, hey, when is the real fix going to be ready? They might still, but if you get them a workable workaround, that might be sufficient. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't just leave it like that. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't work on the actual fix, and of course let them know when the actual fix is ready. But it means that you can keep them happy longer and get them to a solved state or a resolved state sooner. And that's important. And that's something that, even if you have technical support staff, they might not be able to find the same sorts of workarounds that you as a developer, and potentially you as the actual developer of that particular feature, can find in a short amount of time. Now, the other thing is actually working with the customer to solve the issue and get the issue resolved and solved. You do want to do that. You want to make sure that you solve it in a way that works for them, but you also don't want to create issues for other customers. And you want to make sure that communication continues to flow. If it's a bug, if it's a real bug, own it. Don't try to hide that away. Be transparent and say, hey, we introduced a bug. Maybe it's a regression. It worked perfectly in previous versions, but then in the version that this customer is using, it stopped working. This bug popped up. Oops, that's on you. Own it. Maybe not you personally, but on the company, and make sure that you fix it. You have it tested, and ideally it never happens again. But that's okay. It's okay to have bugs. People understand that software has bugs, but when software has bugs, they want to see that you identify the issue, you fix the issue, and you can provide a reasonable guarantee that it's not going to pop up again in the future. And as long as that happens, as long as they feel, again, this goes back to making sure that they feel listened to and heard. As long as they get some sort of response and that bugs get fixed in a timely manner, they feel heard. They feel like they've had an impact in the software development process. They feel like they've had an impact on the software that they're using, and they feel that much more engaged. And when it comes time to renew, if you have those sorts of renewal cycles, they're more likely to choose to renew with you because they know they have that relationship with you, and they know that they're going to continue to get that sort of response from you. So it's important all the way along the lines, to make sure that they feel heard, starting from the first conversation you have with them. It's important to get them something that gets them going, and then it's important to actually fix the issue in a reasonable time frame. And reasonable is different for different issues. Something that's a cosmetic issue might be quick and simple to get done in the next sprint, whereas something a little more complex, some sort of configuration issue, might be easy to get in the next month or two. Something that is a result of a massive overhaul of some big feature that didn't take into account an edge case, that might take a little bit longer to get worked out. And as long as you communicate with your customers and continue to have that communication and continue to be transparent with your customers, they'll be okay with you taking the appropriate amount of time to make sure that you have fixed the issue in the best way possible, in the most appropriate way possible. And everything will be good. Of course, you will still have problem customers. Some people are never happy, and I'm not going to say it's usually not your fault. In some cases, it might not be your fault. They might be upset about something else, and it's bleeding over into their conversation with you. Unfortunately, people are people, and unfortunately, you're going to run into the occasional situation where it seems like there's no opportunity for either side to win. And do the best you can. Make sure that you hit all those points. Make sure they feel listened to. Make sure they feel heard. Try to get them something along the lines of a workaround, and try to fix their issue. Even if it doesn't make them happy, at least you've fixed an issue that has been identified in the system that will likely make other customers happy as well. If you have other ideas from experience or other thoughts, maybe you've been a customer on the other side and you have other tips and tricks, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Again, this is from my experience. This is how I approach customer escalations. But everybody's different, and I'm sure there are more tips out there than I could even possibly enumerate in a video. If you like this video, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Share this video with your friends and colleagues, especially if you're getting into a role like this. If you know someone who's getting into a role where they're going to be dealing with customer escalations and they've never done it before, go ahead and share this video with them, and maybe share your tips as well. And of course, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. It helps you know when I'm posting other videos like this and some of my more technical videos. Speaking of which, go ahead and check out videos I posted in the past. I've posted a bunch of videos on a bunch of different topics, and there's something there for everyone. I'm sure there's something you'll find that you love. And go ahead and click that like button on that video as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.